lying to me?
Such a reliable newspaper.
British politics has a funny habit. The louder the denial, the louder the suspicion. Ed Miliband has gone on record repeatedly insisting he has zero interest in leading the Labour Party again. Absolute baloney, he says.
You were lying to me.
Of course I'm not. Don't be ridiculous.
And yet the questions keep coming. Why now? Why so defensive? And why does this conversation refuse to die? Behind the calm words, there's a party under pressure, a government accused of losing direction, and a public growing increasingly impatient.
For nearly 20 years now, we've had a long-standing cost of living crisis, not just a few years when Russia invaded Ukraine and bills went through the roof, and people are hurting. And so I think the job of all of us, and leadership is a collective business, is to show how we can rise to that challenge.
Stay with us, because what matters here isn't just what Miliband says, but why he's being asked at all. And if you value political scrutiny that doesn't stop at sound bites, subscribe now, you won't get this context from the headlines.
Well, it was an extraordinary day yesterday, a seismic day, but it did feel like members of the cabinet looked over the abyss, if you like, to the reality of what it would mean if Keir Starmer were to go as Prime Minister and then step back. So let's get a bit more on this, shall we? We can talk now to Ed Miliband, the Secretary of State for Climate Change and Net Zero. Good to have you with us.
Good to be here.
So let's get the message of support out first. You're 100% backing the Prime Minister's leadership.
Of course. Look, I think your description is right, which is I think MPs as a whole looked over the precipice yesterday and thought, we need to step back, we need to back our leader, we need to back the man who was elected only 18 months ago as Prime Minister. But I want to be absolutely clear with you, Peter Mandelson should never have been appointed to this job. We as a government have a mission, which is to stand up for the powerless in our society, not the powerful. That's why the Peters appointment undermines that. And as Keir said last night, this has got to be a moment of change for the government. A moment of change where we show much greater clarity of purpose, consistency of purpose. And my experience in politics is what gets you through very difficult days, and yesterday was a very difficult day, is mission and values.
I'm intrigued to hear what you say there, because obviously you're condoning the Peter Mandelson, but are you saying that the Labour Party needs to change and the government needs to change in other ways as well? I'm thinking about Wes Streeting there, in one of the
Yes, I
messages.
am saying that.
Yeah,
yes,
in what ways?
Look, Keir put it well last night, which is he said, look, I recognise it's not just the Peter Mandelson appointment. We've made mistakes in policy which have drowned out the many good things we're doing as a government, like winter fuel payment, for example, wasn't consistent with our values as a government. We need to change. And I think what I saw from Keir last night was someone who wants to seize this moment and make it a moment of change to reconnect with the country. And I want to be clear with you, Sophie, I know we have a Herculean task to do that, to reconnect with your viewers, to move on from this episode, because lots of people in the country will be incredibly angry about what's happened, and they're right to be angry.
Do you think, do you agree with Wes Streeting that the government needs a better growth strategy? That's what he said in one of these private messages.
I think that actually Rachel has done a very good job as Chancellor. I don't agree with, if that's what, I haven't seen the detail of the messages, but I think we've seen the stability that is essential. We've seen investment. I'm announcing today, I know we've got other things to talk about, a big investment in local power so that communities can own their own clean energy. That's only possible because of the decisions Rachel's made. We've got £150 of costs being taken off energy bills. That's because of the decisions that Rachel made too.
Another thing that Wes Streeting said was that there's no clear answer to the question, why Labour? Is that fair, do you think?
I know the answer to that question, which is for too long, this country has been run for the wealthy and powerful, and that needs to change.
Has it changed under this Labour government so far?
Not enough. And I think the job for all of us is to work out how to be bolder in that, because people have, the biggest issue we face as a country, and your viewers will face this, is that for nearly 20 years now, we've had a long-standing cost of living crisis, not just a few years when Russia invaded Ukraine and bills went through the roof, and people are hurting. And so I think the job of all of us, and leadership is a collective business, is to show how we can rise to that challenge.
I mean, it sounds a little bit, and you'll forgive me for saying this, Like,
I'll
this
always
is your
forgive you.
own leadership pitch.
Absolute baloney.
Are you interested?
Absolutely baloney.
Are you interested
Nope.
at all?
Nope. I've said this before.
No, I know.
Yeah, no, baloney, honestly.
So are you interested in the leadership?
No, I'm interested in supporting Keir Starmer.
Can you rule out running for the leadership?
I'm not running for leadership, no.
Can you rule out running
Yeah,
for
I'm
the
not
leadership?
running for the leadership.
I know you're not running for it right now, but can you rule out running for the leadership?
Yes, I'm not going to run, yeah.
The Sun reported a Labour source saying Ed is preparing to run again. He's told people, despite what he says when he's interviewed. Are you lying to me, Miliband?
Such a reliable newspaper.
Are you lying to me?
Of course I'm not. Don't be ridiculous. You know, I did the job before. I've said before, I think to you, that it inoculated me against this. I'm interested in supporting Keir. That's the duty we all have. And I think, look, there is an important point here, because your correspondent made reference to this. I think partly people remember what happened under the Tories and the chaos and disorder that there was. We don't want to go down that road.
I'm just interested to know about how things unfolded yesterday, because we had this extraordinary spectacle of Anas Sarwar, the leader of the Scottish Labour Party, coming out and calling on Keir Starmer to go. How do you feel towards Anas Sarwar this morning? You angry?
Anas is my friend. I think he made a wrong judgment yesterday. I don't agree with him. I don't think it was helpful what he did, to put it mildly. But you know, we move on from that. And I think what you saw was actually, and genuinely, look, I've addressed these parliamentary Labour Party meetings as leader. There can be an ordeal. I think you saw a will among the people there to get behind Keir, give him the time and space to reset the government and show the clarity of focus. And by the way, it was a different Keir last night. It was a more liberated Keir. It was the Keir I know, decency, integrity, knew what he was fighting for with great clarity, and more of that.
Just to go back to Anas Sarwar, at what point did you find out yesterday what he was going to do?
It was probably a Sky tweet, probably. You know what I mean? I don't know.
The reason I ask is because it reminds me a bit, I think it's fair to say, about, do you remember when, or you will definitely remember when James Purnell, ancient history, James Purnell resigned over Gordon Brown's leadership, and
I remember it well.
So.
I remember it well because my wife was in Labour at that point, with my first child, and so I had other priorities.
He resigned expecting David Miliband was going to follow him, right? And do you think that's what's going on here with Anas Sarwar? You know, he made that call expecting the cavalry were going to come behind, because he's close to Wes Streeting, right?
I don't know. Look, I'm not going to get into the Kremlinology of all that. I think this is about the country, and I think it's so important, this, which is our job. We were elected to change the country, right? That's what your viewers want us to do. Your viewers aren't interested in the who's up, who's down. They're interested in how we change the country.
Team Wes have hit out at number 10 for briefing he was behind the Anas Sarwar move. At the same time as Wes was in an interview saying Keir needed a chance to set out his case and his plan, number 10 was briefing that Wes had told Anas Sarwar to make his statement. That is the problem.
MoveOn.org. I mean, let's just get on. Let's just move past all this. Honestly, I mean, all of this. Come on, we've got to focus. And I'm saying to our colleagues, don't focus on yourselves. Focus on the country. That's what Keir's message was last night, and he's dead right.
OK, and then just finally, we saw, of course, Wes Streeting, revealing those. Sorry, I know I mentioned his name a few times in the interview, but revealing those messages from Peter Mandelson between them.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to, get off your chest? I don't know how your relationship was with Peter Mandelson.
Well, our relationship has been rather distant, I would say. I had very limited contact with the former US ambassador. OK, thank you very much indeed. Ed Miliband on the programme this morning.
His conversation won't trend, and that's exactly the point. Leadership tensions, internal fractures, and credibility crises are rarely amplified by the mainstream until it's too late. If you think voters deserve to hear these moments before the spin machine kicks in, like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it, and comment below, when politicians deny ambition this hard, should we believe?